Jenn, besides her role in IBE International, is also vice president of the New York State AFL-CIO and secretary for the Workforce Development Institute, and is on the board for Climate Jobs New York. And I just listed a few. There's no better person to talk to us about the workers of IBEW and how they fit in to our environmental goals. Thank you, Jenn.
Good morning. Thank you, Ria. Good morning. My name is Jenn Duck. I'm an international representative for the IBEW. I'm proud to be here on behalf of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. I got my start at Syracuse's Local 1249 in 2011. And in 2019, I was brought on staff with the International. For the last almost 7 years, I have been the political coordinator for New York State. I spent a lot of time traveling the state and in Albany, where I represent the interests of almost 59,000 members of New York. My work centers around policy, regulation, securing new work opportunities for members, and preserving IBEW jobs, good salaries and benefits, and safe workplaces. I'm so glad to be here today to discuss the important role of workforce in the state's renewable energy sector. Good jobs are key to vibrant communities, and the IBEW is integral to every piece of the energy system. There's no part of the American grid that the IBEW members are not intimate with. And that increasingly includes wind, solar, geothermal, electric vehicle charging stations, and battery storage. Like Ria said, the IBEW is the largest union electric energy union, in the world. We count nearly 900,000 members in the United States, U.S. territories, and Canada. Our membership spans the economy with members in construction, utilities, telecommunications, broadcasting, manufacturing, railroad, and government. We are on most big commercial and industrial projects. Think Micron, which is putting hundreds of IBEW members to work for the next several years. Around the state, we represent the line workers that power your homes, like National Grid, Rochester Gas and Electric, NYSEG, just a few, as well as the folks at the New York Power Authority. Our utility workers also power 9 Mile Point and James Fitzpatrick nuclear facilities, which supply a substantial portion of the region's electricity. IBEW members are also the folks who build and maintain the high voltage transmission lines across distances. This includes the high voltage line currently under construction that will eventually import hydropower from Quebec to New York City. More than 100 members of the IBEW are working on the Champlain-Hudson Express currently. The transmission line will eventually supply about 20% of New York's clean energy, reduce air pollutants, and create up to 3,000 secondary jobs. In this moment of high demand for electricity and electrical workers, the IBEW is a skilled union workforce in the energy economy. Unfortunately, federal cuts to clean energy programs are harming economic development, local jobs, and our ability to confront rising demand in electricity across the country. The IBEW has been building solar and wind for decades, but in the last few years, renewable projects have been among the largest areas of our growth. But we are now seeing the downside of 2025's policy shifts. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act, passed by Congress and signed by President Trump, has created roadblocks to critical funding for countless clean energy projects and programs. So a lot of projects that have been gearing up to get off the ground before President Trump took office were canceled or delayed. Luckily, current state policy does favor renewables, and Governor Hochul has fought hard to protect offshore wind projects and subsidies for nuclear and renewables, all with strong labor standards, very important. This means that workers on these projects have a contract, like a project labor agreement, that sets a timeline and terms for all of the work for all of the trades on the project. It ensures that the people on the job are local and that the benefits of the economic development, like taxes, are flowing to the local community where the project is being performed. Union workforces are the most highly trained, professionalized workforces you can find. and PLAs mean the work is much more likely to come in on time and on budget. Sometimes non-union contractors bring in crews from out of the area, they underpay them, or they lowball contracts and can't meet the requirements, resulting in cost overruns. Union labor means getting it right the first time. Union contracts generally mean solid partnerships between contractors, unions, and developers to accomplish something that benefits the community. It's a win-win-win. IBEW crews are hard at work transforming the energy generation landscape in New York. We have completed several large-scale solar projects over the years, and we've secured agreements to complete an additional 17 over the next year and a half. Presently, IBEW workers are working on a 100-megawatt solar project in Franklin County called Brookside. In Genesee County, they are working on a $41 million Excelsior Energy solar project, which is expected to create 290 jobs during construction and provide $37 million in revenue for the county. And members are currently putting the finishing touches on a 13,000 panel solar array on the new terminal at JFK Airport. This is part of a $19 billion transformation project, and it's one of the largest in the US. Battery storage is essential to the growth and development of renewable storage, or renewable energy. It is an emerging technology. There have been bumps along the way, but the industry is working hard to get it right. IBEW members have installed thousands of megawatts of storage and spearheaded innovative legislation and best practices to enhance safety across the country. That's why IBEW is participating in a national training and certificate program called eSAMTAC for the safe and effective installation and maintenance of energy storage and microgrid equipment and systems. This initiative is based on standards and codes of the National Fire Protection Association, the National Electric Code, the American Standards Institute, and the Electrical Power Research Institute. It has already been integrated in IBEW's training curriculum in New York for many years now. After the One Big Beautiful Bill phased out wind and solar tax credits that had been responsible for so much development, battery storage still qualifies for investment in tax credits that were passed in the Inflation Reduction Act. That paves the way for continuing strong development of battery storage, and Bloomberg NEF estimates that the United States is expected to add more than 200 gigawatts of battery storage in the next 10 years. As I mentioned, IBEW also represents members in manufacturing to help address the need for skilled, qualified manufacturing workforce in the battery sector. The IBEW launched the Clean Technology Training Trust. It works with industry, labor, education, and government to create scalable training and apprenticeship models in clean technology sectors like clean vehicle mechanics and battery manufacturing. This work is grounded in IBEW's decades of training expertise and applies the gold standard long used in construction apprenticeships to non-construction sectors like manufacturing, and we're hoping this helps continue to grow the manufacturing industry in New York. IBEW members have also completed a majority of the land-based and offshore wind projects here in New York. As you know, this is no small task. It includes wiring towers, grounding electrical systems, and tying them to substations and the grid, which is particularly challenging on offshore towers. IBEW members on Long Island wound up the South Fork Offshore 12-turbine wind project a few years ago. Today, we are at work on the Sunrise and Empower wind developments, which will produce 1.6 gigawatts. IBEW members are building the Empire Wind Project with members performing key electrical work, turbine wiring, and port rehabilitation for the 810 megawatt offshore project. Despite recent legal challenges and work stoppage, halting progress, a court ruling this past January allowed construction to resume, securing jobs for union members. As you may know, President Trump tried multiple times to cancel these projects, but the courts have overruled him. This is obviously good for New York State because we need the power, but it's also good for good jobs in our communities. IBEW is also the largest union in the nuclear industry, with about 15,000 members employed full-time at 55 nuclear facilities across the country. In New York, we are happily anticipating new nuclear projects. As you know, nuclear power is the only sustainable 24/7 carbon-free source of energy. For more than 100 years, the IBEW For more than 100 years, the IBEW and our construction employers have teamed up to train the most highly skilled professional electricians you can find. Training for renewable jobs of the future is what we do. IBEW is the largest program for electrical workers in the country. Registered apprenticeships are the gold standard for workforce training. Our apprenticeships include classroom instruction and hands-on training, ensuring workers are prepared for modern industries like renewable energy and battery storage. The IBEW operates 285 training centers across North America, including 14 here in New York State. I encourage you all to reach out to your local IBEW to do a tour of their training center. And IBEW apprenticeships operate at no cost to their participants or the taxpayers. The IBEW is committed to expanding electrical apprenticeship programs to meet the skyrocketing demand for electricians. We have the facilities and the curriculum to scale up for larger apprenticeship classes. That's good because just about every local union is increasing the amount of apprentices because of this demand. America needs more skilled tradesmen and women to meet the demand of this moment. IBEW is getting a lot of attention for their salary and benefits. It's notable. Without debt, members are earning wages, health, and retirement benefits from day one, and in a job market that is seeing a ton of growth, obviously. North America, we are seeing a surge of construction investments, and the industry is gearing up for $2 trillion worth of work on over 20,000 projects. Additionally, utilities are planning to spend $1.4 trillion on the grid over the next 5 years, including new power capacity and additional battery storage. For the IBEW, that means we're organizing more than we have in the last 50 years. Today, we have more journeyman linemen, apprentices, and wiremen than any other time in our 135-year history. And I had a section on data centers, but Rhea said I had to cut, so I will cut that part. But data centers also mean jobs, as long as they're done responsibly, and we'll work with Assemblymember Kellis to make sure that happens. And I will be here for the day. If anyone has any questions, my contact info is also up there. Thank you. Oh.